warm welcome to the cast here. Hector David Jr., everybody, come on up, man.
Everybody here.
Welcome to you, bro. Yeah, you can jump right up there. I know, a great suit. Yeah, I know, you're fine.
Yeah, these guys in their suits. Doing it like this or just
I love the Ranger Love. Yeah, this is great, you guys. Fantastic. Woo! Trying to win best dressed on the stage, yeah.
I love it.
We're all on this side.
I
Like,
once
well,
actually
that's
touched Dan's cheek, and
You meant for that to happen?
excited, but yet still kind of feel
That's
dirty.
man grub you just kissed.
Oh, man. Well, we are glad to have you guys with us. We've got 3 from Time Force and a couple of others from some amazing seasons, too. Power Rangers Samurai and Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. So pretty neat and pretty unique. Yeah, give it up for all of them. Everybody there, different seasons, different filming locations, different production companies, 3. So that's really cool. Nickelodeon, Disney, Saban, there's probably some, don't worry about that, that's from the Wild Force guys.
Oh.
This is all stuff you don't have to worry about at all.
We know
I know.
for Time Force. We don't need notes.
Don't give him to me, then he come whooping!
Exactly as you would hope they would, yeah. That's it. Dance. That was a good throw.
That's a paper cut loss.
All the way out there. There you go. That's it. What that cost us. As he backs up and trips and everything falls apart. Oh, it's great. Ninja paper. It's like a ninja steel. That's a totally different season besides the 13 we're representing on the stage right now. All right, grab some photos. Get the gang together. In the meantime, Hector, since I'm down here on your side, good to see you at Con again. It's good to have you around. You're always a bundle of energy. Yeah. What's bringing you to Atlanta? How you doing?
Everything. I don't leave the...
What's up? A-Town down. No, I love Atlanta. I've always had a great time here. It's always an honor to be sharing the stage with such legendary people and legendary Rangers. I love these guys. And getting to know him personally, sitting next to him at the show. I've got to know these guys through the years. And you know what they say, never meet your heroes because they'll disappoint you. These guys have not disappointed me yet. So it's always an honor and a pleasure. And maybe fun a few times, but
Sorry about
no, I'm just kidding. It's such an honor, and I love being here with the people from Atlanta and anybody that came from out of the country or out of state. It's a pleasure to be here, and let's rock this thing.
I love it.
And you're always a great moderator, a great
thanks,
host.
man.
Hector, start over again.
Thanks, Hector. Yeah.
I missed all that. Start over.
Oh, you did? I was just telling him how much I love you. That's it.
It was all good things. He really was. And to be honest, I wasn't even listening until I started talking about me.
Let's go. What are we talking about?
But Hector's a great guy, guys, of Power Rangers Samurai. We might as well keep going down the line from Power Rangers Operation Overdrive, Dwayne Cameron, and not just Overdrive, but the Mercury Ranger in Overdrive, at least. But let's think about it. Let's go backwards. Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Billy for Ethan, right? Power Rangers SPD. Sky's friends, you know his name.
Derek.
Yeah, Derek. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost didn't need to give an introduction because we're doing it for me. I came back for him so he could moderate this. That's the only reason I'm here. No,
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey guys, it's good to be back. I missed last year. I missed you all. Who was here last year? Oh, basically everyone. All right. Well, it's good to see new faces. Good to see some familiar faces. It's good to team up with new friends and old friends. And it's good to be back and just celebrate everything Power Rangers, guys. You guys are the fuel that keep us running. You know what I mean? Like I've done so many cons in the last couple of years since the pandemic, and we came out of the pandemic like, get me out of the box.
Yeah. And
we are all out of the box and mingling, and it's just awesome, you know. Like it's just seeing every time I do a con, I just hear new stories, and man, I just want to share this real quick.
Please.
I had this dude go to war, go to Afghanistan, come back, do this whole mission, right? And he literally came back and he said, I survived it because I was thinking about stuff he said in the show and all this. So that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff, I heard that just recently.
Wow.
It just takes what we do to another level. And it just blows my mind every time I do these shows, and I'm so happy to be back with you guys and hear your stories. Really, that's why I come here, to hear your stories and connect. So thank you all for coming, and I'm here for you. So thanks.
Awesome. And just as we're passing it to Aaron, before we go, I know we're going to talk a lot to the Time Force group, and I don't want it to accidentally take a lot of time. I want to touch on June. Really
Right,
quickly.
yeah.
Because you've traveled to all these conventions, yes, but not just as the Mercury Ranger writing on that. You have put yourself out there, and what has it got you, if you wouldn't mind telling me?
Yeah, so what I did is I wrote a short film called June. It's an intimate drama. It's got a lot of visual effects. I went down, I was living in New Zealand at the time. I was going back and forth between New Zealand and Los Angeles. And I wanted to, I've been doing this 26 years, you know, in the industry, and I've written a lot of scripts. I thought, I'm going to have this shot at a short film, and I went all in, and I called, I know Taika Waititi, cinematographer, and I called him up, and I called a lot of friends who had been in the industry a long time. I connected to Weta Digital, like Peter Jackson's visual effects company, and they did like Avatar 2 and all the Avengers movies and basically every visual effects movie at the moment. And they did all the visual effects for me, and yeah, I just went all in on the short film and then released it out. It's like 14 months ago now, and yeah, it's been to 172 film festivals. It's won 407 awards. Yeah. So
Put them together for that, yeah.
it was cool because it's like I always hear people, like, I just had a conversation with a dude, and he was like, man, I want to get into acting, man. I'm like 33, and it's a bit late in the game. I'm like, dude, no, man. Like, just take a shot. Like I was directing, and it's like, there's directors now at 14 with iPhones, you know. And I took a really big punt, and it paid off. So I always just say, you know, put your money on the table, take action, get out and do it. And sometimes it doesn't land where you want it to, but, you know, you're going to rally people around you, too. Because when you start believing in something, you know, all sorts of people come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Even the guys who started this show, they started with like 7 Power Rangers, and look at it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
so it was a great short film. It was a great experience. And got to work with some amazing cast. Like John Callan was in it. He played Oin in the Hobbit trilogy. Yeah, so he's in that with me, and Brooke Williams, who was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we all starred in it together, and I edited it and did everything. Yeah. So yeah, it'll be out. I was going to release it like 6 months ago, but it keeps getting into festivals, so it's just about to finish the festival circuit. It's called June. It's just a short film, but it's loaded with really beautiful visual effects, and it's a heart story. You're really gonna. Yeah, you'll feel it. Yeah, it's a good one. All right.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you for that. Congrats, yeah. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you guys off but I knew that was such a cool story that doesn't always get told at these shows.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So glad you got a chance to talk about that and do that. Congratulations.
Yeah, especially after what we were just talking about backstage, too. That's wonderful.
Yeah, no,
Congratulations, man.
It's
Really
never too late.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, that's the perfect segue. I just want to say hi, guys. I'm so thrilled I could be here, and you just said the perfect things about. I love you too. I do, guys. Hi. It's so great to see so many of your faces that I've known from before, and like you said, new faces. But you are. That was such a beautiful way. You said you guys are the fuel that keep us going. You are, and it's such a gift to come meet you and hear the stories like about someone who went to Afghanistan or. You know, someone who beat cancer and heard our voices in their head. Like all these things we've heard that, I mean, I've cried twice today already. So to truly have, so thank you. Love you guys. Love you.
And thank you for joining us at short notice here in Atlanta. We're very glad.
My schedule changed. I could be here.
We're
I'm
so
so
glad
happy.
you and Jason both could join us these next couple of days. Yeah.
Yes, we any of these Ranger events like this, I love going to because everybody is so passionate. We're here celebrating the same common theme of the show that continues to just run, and it's been amazing for all of us. So thank you for coming and supporting us all these years. We've done the comic book stores, so I've met a lot of you through the comic book circuit. So thank you for coming back again. And just excited to have a great weekend with you guys. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being a part of it.
They just stole my spotlight. I was going to hog
You had all the time for us to yourself for the weekend.
These two show up, and I got to share.
But we're glad you did. I mean, it's a big enough stage for 2 Red Rangers, right? In that particular season, at least it was. I thought it was a good plot. But thank you for being here, Dan. It's very cool.
Of course.
Very cool. I know that a lot of you are going to have some questions out there as part of the audience, and I'm sure that we will have time for all of them, hopefully. So think about those. But before we get started, I just want to go down one more time the line, Dan, and see basically how you're all doing. And I don't mean like, you know, project-wise, hopefully you're doing anything, but like, I'm not saying, you don't have to answer like a deep philosophical Michael Rosenbaum podcast-style question here. I'm just curious how you doing, you know?
You know, it reminds me of something. As Americans, we say that to each other. Hey, how you doing? Oh, good.
You have to say good, right?
You know, it just means hello, right? Yeah. I spent a few years in Romania doing a film out there, and when you say, hey, how you doing, the guy behind the barista bar will tell you about his dysentery or his diarrhea he had that morning. And his mother's not doing really well. And I'm like, you can't actually ask, how are you doing? You just have to say hello. So anyway, my diarrhea this morning was, I'll start with the color.
Similar to the helmet, or do we need to call a doctor? Yeah.
That would be bad. I would have to go to the hospital.
It's not the same as the color.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking.
Excellent. That's cool. Jason, this is a similar question. I wanted to see the same with you. How are things going in your life, production-wise, family, everything going well, I hope?
Lots of fun stuff to report, but most importantly, I got married last year to my wife.
Congratulations on the marriage. Yes. I love good things like that. Yeah.
So that was our new news, and yeah. Oh yeah, there was a microphone.
I know. So I did this. Shouting off the stage is easier in a room. Like
Everything
this.
is very good.
Say it again for her though.
Yeah, say it again. So, my life is great. A lot of cool things to update you guys on. We'll do it private at the table, but
it's better now. His life is better now.
She made an honest man out of me. My wife is right there, so you'll see a lot of stuff. We got married last year, and we're very excited to start our new journey. Yep.
Congratulations, Jason, both of you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was going to totally cut you off and be like, if you hadn't said it, I was going to be like, and you guys, she's so hot. Just go to his table just to look at her.
just be there. Don't say that.
Am I allowed to say that anymore?
You could say it, but people will do it.
She's so. I like how you said hot. She's so hot.
But hot inside, like also just the best. Kat and I were just talking
in
about
Atlanta, we're hot on the outside too. It's really warm.
Yes. I'm concerned about tomorrow.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, and I have this shirt that doesn't breathe tomorrow. I don't know what I was thinking. Hi, I'm good. I gotta say, life has been full of big swings lately. My family has been dealing with some health issues that have been really, really, really hard. And things will never be the same. And so that's, and I think a lot of us, there's power in talking about it, because I know you guys share with us, and I don't often get to say, like, things were, it's the hardest year of my life, if I'm honest. And conversely, work, it's been one of the best years of my life. I've been working so much and making movies, and so fortunate. So I'm good. There hasn't been a lot of balance, but that's the balance, right? Like the universe has been counterbalancing itself. So there's a lot to be grateful for.
I would like to say, without the audience, I mean, they're all here, you are one of the most positive people, not Power Rangers, but people I've ever gotten to meet, Aaron. And it's every time you're at an event. I had a couple of friends who weren't at this one that do the Orlando show, and they were like, I hope you have a good time. I'm like, Aaron's coming now. And they're like, I'm sad, I'm missing it. Like, the radiance that you bring, so thank you for that. For real.
I'll hug you so hard for that later.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
I'll be there.
Thanks, you guys, and thanks. We love.
But I know that they would echo it. I don't want to speak for the whole audience, but isn't it true, guys? You're so great. Yeah. There you go.
You guys. Thank you. Did someone say no? Dan? No, thanks you. Thank you.
I thought pretty good. I'm fine. No, I mean, I am fine. Like, I've been through a lot of shit in my life, right? So, like, I've been through a lot. I won't even go into that. But, sometimes it's okay to be fine, too. Like, you don't have to look for the drama, or you don't have to look for the chaos. You can be like, sometimes life's okay. And you're always kind of like, it's like being a squirrel. Like, you're always just saying, ready for when things aren't, so you can take the hits. And I think, you know what I mean? Like, there's always a season, and yeah, you just got to, like, you know what I mean? When things are cool in your life and balanced, you got to be stocking up, and because it's sometimes when there's too much prosperity or too much good stuff going on, people can get too relaxed, right? And then that's when problems going to start. So that's my advice when people talk to me. I'm like, always stay vigilant, always keep your head screwed on, don't be lazy, make your bed. You know what I mean? Just keep it real, and life will pay you back if you put it out there. So yeah, I got no complaints. I'm happy, and thank you again. I keep saying this, like, thank you, because sometimes when I do have confusing days, I do a con, I walk away, and I'm like, damn, I did something really cool 15 years ago, and it really impacted these guys. And so when I'm having a day that's like wobbly or rocky or something, I do it after a con. I'm always upbeat. I'm like, I love you guys, man. Yeah.
He has no complaints. All I have is complaints. No, I have complaints, but I won't today, because I'm full of gratitude, and the same with all these guys. Have they said, we love you guys. I thought that being the Green Ranger was going to be one of the greatest roles I ever took on, but I'm a daddy now, and so that has been the greatest role of all time. and like Aaron, it has been the most amazing year for my career and my work, and then personally, just that unbalance and balance coming back and forth. But being a daddy is waking up every day and just you have no choice. I used to dwell and take 2 or 3 days to process my information and whatever, and now I'm just at a place where no grudges, keep it moving. My daughter needs her daddy. So that's number one for me is, I'm playing the greatest role of all time, being a daddy. So, thank you. And a girl dad of that.
Oh, man.
God definitely has a sense of humor with me. He blessed me with a beautiful baby girl.
Good man.
Wait till that beautiful baby girl turns into 2 when they're 18 and 16.
I know. Right, yours just turned 18.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
I think congratulations is the right word, Jace. Yeah.
That's my complaint, yeah.
Oh, man. Now, it's great to catch up with all you guys. Thank you for taking the moment for that. You're so wonderful. Team, I think there are some questions out there, aren't there? Let's see some hands. I see the red jacket right there. Let's go ahead and start with that. Let's go ahead and do some of these.
This is only. Oh, and this answer is for all 3 of them, but but the second answer is going to be for you, Aaron. Oh, because I should tell you, please know, for you 3, I do know Mr. Copon, and Mr. Copon should have passed this answer to you, because I informed him. Because I should tell you, I have good news and I got bad news.
You already gave me my bad news earlier, so I'm going to...
Well, you already know what's coming. Because to me, the good news is, as your Ranger counterparts and Japanese counterparts, you and Wes were meant to be, and that was your first love. But the bad news is, you and Alex were never engaged, but he was the true mastermind of Time Force the whole time.
I did not know that. Actually, I love you. I was like, I didn't know any of that.
Oh, you can find Time Ranger on Tubi.
Thank you for telling me, because now I know.
Spin-off of the Alex saga, right? There should be a spin-off. That's what I get out of this.
You've been saying that ever since we've been making that show.
And I should tell you, before I go, and I looked up your backup Japanese counterpart. You were an orphan, just like Trip.
Oh, okay.
Your family, yes, but when you came back, they survived.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good. See, good news.
That's good news. Yeah.
You're the bearer of good news. Thank you.
It's kind of like a multiverse, right? The Sentai version and the Power Rangers
It's
version.
totally like a
and
multiverse.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yes.
I
Actually,
love
it is a
that.
multiverse. Yeah, thank you.
In the universe, yeah, that could happen. Let's go. Let's go. Anybody else got? Oh, right over here. Let's go right here with the question.
It's for Jason and Aaron. It's kind of ambiguous in the show that you're with Alex, and then you go back, and of course you're with Wes. Did they ever tell you how to play it, or my theory is that Alex is only because of Wes, so you are changing time, but you never changed Alex because the only reason he exists is because you went back to be with Wes. I don't know if that's
Yeah, that dives in. There's so many different ways you could have gone with it,
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Yeah, so many different ways. So I think the way that you look at it is as good as any, because there's so many. I mean, it's hard to say what the actual, because they left it a little bit nebulous,
Or it makes Alex your great-great-great-grandson.
That's right.
Yeah.
It has to be, right?
It wouldn't have to be. And it was funny.
It has to be, yeah.
They went back to the future, back to the year 3000, and you're like, what happened to Wes? You're like, he didn't make it. It's like, okay, but you didn't fade into nothing, so who knows? So you had to go back in time and finish the story, right?
You guys were changing everything, but Alex didn't change, so he had to have been...
Maybe.
She's the first person in the history of the world to date a great-great-great-great-grandfather and then go after his great-great-great-great-grandson. So not many people... There's MILFs,
That's a
and
pretty
there's DILFs,
good,
and there's GILFs, but this is like GILF.
Well played, Jason. Well played.
I mean, I can't top that.
What's the top
That's true.
on
I guess
that?
Jen just has a royal type.
Yeah.
Like, very specific.
It has to be that DNA.
Yeah.
That's perfect though.
That's a
but,
dumb
but that's a fun question, and that's all. Like, that's some of the Power Ranger stuff you can get into. I see a couple more. I'm going to go back there. Hector, I want to ask you one though before we do one out there. You were the first season to come back from Nickelodeon after the cancellation, if you will, by Disney. What was it like to join back into the franchise? When you went and auditioned, were they saying it was like a reboot of this whole franchise, or how did they kind of go about it when they were bringing in new Power Rangers?
It's a long story, but I'll keep it short so we can continue. I heard around town in Los Angeles, and I had just told the story in our press room, that I had heard everybody was going out for the comeback of the Power Rangers. And I had called my agent from another audition, and I told her, hey, why am I not going out for that? You know I do all my own stunts. You know I'm a massive fan of the show. I can't believe I'm not in that room. She's like, well, Hector, God rest her soul, my old agent, Marsha Wiseman, said, Hector, I know Iris personally. You want to get in the room? I'll get you in the room. You just go deliver. So I went, I waited 3.5 hours. I'll never forget, because Brittany Ann Purdo, who plays my Yellow Ranger, was also there that first day. And we were all in Iris's office waiting for 3.5 hours to audition, because they auditioned about like 5,000 people for each Ranger. And they auditioned in New Zealand, they auditioned in LA, in Florida. It was a big, massive open casting. But we had no idea where the distribution was going to be. We didn't know it was going to be on Nickelodeon. We didn't know that this was the comeback of the Power Rangers. We just knew that Disney had done whatever with it, and it hadn't been on TV for a few years, and that was it. And then sure enough, I'll never forget, the second time I went back to read, Bulk, Paulie Schreier walks in, and that's when I knew, excuse my language, but this shit's about to go off. You're bringing Bulk back? Damn, dreams come true, baby!
That's awesome, man. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Let's go a couple more in the audience, and we'll do some more up on stage there. Let's go right here next.
Hey guys, I would just. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm up.
Hey,
Oh, shit.
don't fall.
No, I was just wondering, do all y'all guys still have your original helmets? And Dan and Jason, are those your original helmets or are they customs? And like, how do y'all go about it? If y'all get customs, do y'all go to special people? Do y'all design them yourself, and vice versa?
I mean, as far as I understand, we didn't have our own personal helmets. We hardly ever actually wore the helmets as the actors on the show. I was a stuntman before I got on the show who did work in the helmet, and I know that there's a lot of different people that made them. For us as actors, and please correct me if I'm not correct in your experience, but for a lot of us, there's fans or people that we come into contact at these conventions that present these to us, and I can say as somebody who's actually worn the stunt helmets that these are exact replicas of what we were working with on the show. So what you're looking at here is exactly the same stuff the stunt people wore on the show, and occasionally that we would don for photo shoots and stuff or special occasions.
Not bad.
Yeah, and for mine too, we never wore it as well. And we'll have people over the time that make them, and then we'll maybe shout them out on Instagram. This one here, unlike Dan's, is actually made of like a wood. And I travel with this. It doesn't even open because that thing's been through like 25 countries. And yeah, and the reason is because it's the same size and weight, but if someone drops it, sometimes you'll see me throwing this thing around, but it's the same size and weight, and if someone drops it or it falls, there's no real damage to it. So I have a really good one in my office, like just like that. This one I bring so everybody can hold it.
Yeah.
People always ask to buy it, and I always go, no, it's not for sale. And then like 2 weeks ago, guy. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, guy goes, how about for this much? And I go, yeah, I'll do that. So that did happen.
Wow, yeah.
But people make them for it, and you can buy these for probably $300-400, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they make them perfect. Anaki's a good one, yeah.
They turn out pretty good, don't they? Yeah. Yeah. Going back, Dan, I know that it only sort of goes back to the helmet, but let's go back to the stuntman. When you first worked on Power Rangers, long before Time Force, you were behind a different helmet, weren't you?
When the first changeover of the cast happened after the first 3 years, I auditioned, same experience as you, Hector, open call, Iris Hampton, and I drove down from San Jose to Los Angeles to audition. A week later, they contacted me, flew me to Los Angeles, and I screen tested for, I think, the Black Ranger with Johnny Young Bosch. But it was all of us screen testing. And then I decided, well, if I'm screen testing for a TV show, maybe I'll move to Los Angeles and give this career a shot. And then about 3 weeks later, I landed the live show version for the same character, the Black Ranger. So that was how I started doing the performances in the helmets and how it got back to some of the production that I could do that. And I got hired as a stuntman to do all the appearances around the world that were happening. Whenever you would hear the Power Rangers were showing up at a mall or an exhibition or whatever, they would hire a group of guys like myself to don whatever color they wanted for that event. And so that we could throw kicks and flips and not actually hurt any children trying to do that, or being smart enough not to do it in certain occasions. So that's it. And then I ended up working for one of Jackie Chan's choreographers, and that got back to the stunt guys. The stunt guys were part of a live show production. That's how we all started to mingle. They brought me on the show, our season as a stunt man. And then a week later or two later after that, I got cast as the Quantum Eric Myers, the Quantum Ranger. So that's it in a nutshell.
That's cool.
In a helmet shell.
And just a quick thing, you know, our stunt guys that perform and put their blood, sweat, and tears don't get a lot of the recognition that they deserve, because also having a stunt background, martial arts and dance, you know, you could, you know, when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. But the minute you put the helmet on, it gives you a very small window of range of motion, and so it could be very difficult for somebody that is very powerful without a helmet and can do their things and their kicks and their flips and stunts. But when you put it on, you know, it kind of puts your Peaky Blinders on, and it's very hard to perform at the same level that you would. So I have to give it up to our stunt guys that do it and that keep those helmets on for longer than 10 minutes, that are there, blood, sweat, and tears. They'll say their lines, your lines that you're going to be saying in ADR, they'll say them to themselves. They just sound like Japanese muffled in there, but they work so hard. They dedicate themselves to our characters, and, you know, give a quick shout out to our stunt guys.
Woo! This is what doing a flip in a helmet feels like. When I would have to do one, I would see, and then I would execute the flip, and it would just look like this. No! You have that's what's going on inside your brain. You've got a split second to get your feet underneath you. Mm-hmm. It was
and you can't break a helmet because
then you couldn't, because they were $3,000 a piece.
Yeah.
There was only one company making them. So.
Wow, yeah. Different times.
Could have gone up to 5.
Yeah.
Could have
We
gone.
got a question back here. Let's go over here.
I have a question. Dan, this is probably one for you, brother. See, I always thought, you know, you and JDF have two of those iconic, Rangers with Zords, with big dinosaurs. If you had a chance to pick between your Zord, the Q-Rex, versus the Dragon Zord, who would win? Because you said Forever Red, my Q-Rex will eat your Dragon Zord for lunch. I remember the line now. So let's put you in a spot, my friend.
Well, I think I already said that.
I wasn't here. I don't know.
I think I already answered that question. And it's on tape, forever to see, forever and ever.
No, not really. They took it off Netflix.
I would say, though, that the Q-Rex was pretty powerful, right? I mean, who wouldn't say that was the answer? Yeah. The Dragon Zord, I don't know. They're all pretty good Zords. They would never fight each other, is what I think. Here we go. Let's got one right here in the red jacket. Back here, we got one.
Hey. Hey, guys. I want to ask you a question. This is a weird one, but did any of y'all take any of the suits from the, from the cast, like when you left?
All right, I've been waiting for a room this size. Rangers After Dark sucks right now. Okay, here we go. So I'll never forget, it was our last week of filming, right? And I had this idea because I had heard through the grapevine that actors don't ever get to take their props home, production companies don't like it, and I had heard a story that when Ben Affleck tried to take his Batman suit home and he heard the price, he said, no, I'm good. And it was Ben Affleck. So I'll never forget, a week before we're filming, we get to set at 5 a.m., and I see that the wardrobe door is open. And so I go in and I just start looking through, and I notice that, wow, there's 5 of my suits Would they really realize that one's missing? And sure enough, I took the spandex, I brought them home, and I'll never forget Najee Tej, one of my best friends, and also my roommate during filming Power Ranger Samurai, because we wanted to save money. I'll never forget, I get in my room, I'm unzipping my backpack, he walks by the door and he says, "No! No! Bro, how'd you do it? How'd you get it? Bro!" And I'm like, "Najee, shut your freaking mouth. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil." And he's like, "Bro, all right, Najee, tomorrow, I'm going to get yours. But don't you dare tell Jaden, don't tell Emily, and definitely don't tell Steven Skyler." And sure enough, the next day I went and we got there at 5 a.m. again, and I went and I got Najee's. And so Najee and myself are the only ones from our season that have our suits that we put a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears into. And I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of telling you that I went and stole something. But when you work so hard for something and you identify with something so much, you want just a little piece of it, especially when you play such an iconic character like a Power Ranger. You know, so you know what? Suit up, baby.
And it's all about teamwork, so it was nice of you to go back and get it.
Absolutely. You know, you got to do it for your boy. You know, it's teamwork makes the dream work.
I love it. Let's bring one right up towards the front.
All right. Sorry. Aaron, this question is for you.
I know I was shocked by that story as well.
I'm sorry, I'm still reeling. I'm like, what?
It's all good.
But then you doubled down. I'm so
happy that Heim doesn't own the show anymore, so it's in Hasbro's thing now, so if I ever get called back to play a villain or something, they won't hold it against me, because I will take that suit too.
So, Aaron, how did you come to be involved with the Hyper RPG project, Hyperforce?
That was so fun and nerve-wracking because I had not played before that. I had not played like Dungeons and Dragons or any kind of one of those interactive games. So it was like so fun, but also just it felt like learning a new language on the fly. I got there. Luckily, I got there like 20 minutes early, and they're like, "Okay, here's what you do." But if you watch it, I'm just like, and then I will kick you in your number 10 or whatever. You know, like I didn't know what I was saying.
I had no idea what was going on.
After it was over, I was like, was that okay? Like I was so nervous, I was sweating the whole time. It was. I can't remember. I think I met them at a con, and they asked me. I was so nervous. I think they met me at a con and asked me, and I was so. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Oh, I feel like didn't you do it?
No. I mean, no.
I honestly don't remember, and I'm really sorry. But I do very distinctly remember being terrified that day. Wildly terrified.
Wildly terrifying is a good enough answer. It's a good experience, so you did it, right? You got to say you did it. Who do we got? Let's go up here, and then I'll bring it back to the black in the back in the Star Wars shirt. Here you go.
For all of you, what was your favorite part of filming?
Not stealing any suits. I did not take any suits. I just wanted to everybody to know I did not take anything. They had a wardrobe sale. I bought my stuff from the wardrobe sale.
We did. Yeah, we did.
Sorry. What was the question?
For the family, unequivocally, and then afterwards, you guys. And I'm not, but really, to have what we had, and I'm sure you've heard about all of us, like Jason with the whoopee cushion that would never die. It would vanish for like 2 months, and all of a sudden, him or Michael would just we're like, "Where did you get that from?" I thought, and the cucumber. Well, I'll let Jason tell that. But just like the family, and then now that we have a family with you guys. Years later, what a crazy, unexpected gift from beginning to current gift.
Yeah.
To piggyback when she said, for me it was the end of time, the last one, because we were all there. We all knew this was the end of the show. Our cast was so, everybody got along so well. They actually called us the Huggy Cast because we were all just became brothers and sisters. And the goodbye scene on the beach, we knew we were leaving the show. They saved that for the last day. So that was such an enjoyable memory because it was very sad. It was very emotional. I thought it was well done. But I always remember all of us on the beach with us and Edward,
Oh yeah,
Dan
that's
had
right.
a
I was there.
problem, so he wasn't. Yeah, no.
I mean, I was there, but I was.
But that was my favorite day.
That was fun. The beach scenes were fun. They were a lot of fun, and the beach party we had afterwards was a lot of fun too.
Dan and I kept trying to build the sand up so we could be taller than each other. You're trying to level the sand up, and then I go, damn, Dan, I think he just pushed the sand up, so he's got like 2 inches on me. Push the sand over, a little taller.
When he wasn't looking, I was underneath digging some sand out of his pipe. It's pretty funny.
That's how you get ahead.
So I was in New Zealand filming from about 1994, 95. I did some movies with William Shatner and Selma Blair, and then all of a sudden all this American stuff comes down there. So Lord of the Rings and Power Rangers, and I was like, oh my God, this is my shot. I'm gonna do this. And then I got this bug to I wasn't getting many roles, and I went to the States instead. So I came to America. I was alone. I was 21. It was really tough. And then after about a year and a half, I was bouncing around the States. I thought, I'm going to go back to New Zealand, man. America's tough. And I was in town for 4 days, and I booked the show. And it was a surreal moment, because I was looking for direction. America came to New Zealand, then I went to America, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? And then I kind of just F it, I'm going back to NZ, see my family. I was there for literally 72 hours or something. They said, hey, look, they want you to play the 6th Ranger. I was like, well, there's my direction. And I was like, and I'd been working in New Zealand for a long time, so the cool part was getting to work with crew and production team who were kind of like family. So I went to boarding school when I was 12, and film industries were my second family. Like a gypsy, I was moving around with film industries. So it was always good seeing familiar faces, and it's just like a big family. So that vibe. And I remember there was one, I think, right at the end of the wrap, where I just had this surreal kind of moment, watching everyone do flips and explosions, and I was like, I'm a goddamn Power Ranger. This is a trippy... this is a damn Power Ranger. Yeah. I remember that, so yeah, there you go. All right.
I had a great cast as well. We were really tight. That was super amazing to be in an ensemble cast, especially so fresh in my young career. But I have to say one of my favorite moments was and Jason was there, and we'll contest that I was so surprised that after have not been on the show for a year after Samurai, that they invited us back as legendary Rangers. And I'll never forget, it was that moment where I realized, holy shit, dreams come true. Because not only I got to hang out with Jason and realize, dang, I have this multiverse of brothers and sisters. And I know that moment, and I know Jason can piggyback on this too, is that we got really close for those few days we were all in New Zealand. And then for me to meet JDF and for him to befriend us the way that he did and give us so much love and insight and show us the game in a bunch of different ways and the business of this, how this all goes. And it was just very surreal, because I'll never forget playing with that green action figure when I was a kid, and then getting to stand next to him in battle. It's a memory that lives rent-free in my life forever. And to all those young kids out there, even young, old fans, whoever you are out there, dreams come true. So apply yourself. Faith of a mustard seed will get you far. All right, so never forget that. All right, that dreams come true. I'm living proof. I'm the living proof that dreams come true.
Thanks for sharing that, Hector. That's fantastic. That's amazing, and
it's really cool that you got on a show that you admired when you were a kid.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, you were a fan first of the Power Rangers. Yeah,
I got kicked out of preschool because I was watching Power Rangers. And that teacher's name is Miss Rary. Look at me now, Miss Rary.
I love it. I love it. I think. All right, guys, we got time for 2 more questions. I will go here, and then we'll go to that gentleman right there. So we've got 2 more, and then we'll have our friends at the tables this weekend so we can talk to them as well.
All right, I gotta try to get through this after that act. So, quick story, and then my question. I've been doing conventions since 2010 when I was a high schooler, and the idea of dreams coming true, I never thought I'd ever work with a Power Ranger before. And Jason, the first time I met you in Indiana, I think I took 5 steps away from you and started crying after I met you, because it was just such a surreal experience. And then working with Aaron, working with Dwayne, seeing you guys for the first time, it's been nuts. And it goes back to my brother and my here it comes. My stepfather passed away in 2015, and dang, he used to watch Power Rangers with us all the time. So it was really weird, like doing shows and meeting you guys, and not like him never knowing that. So I'd always get signatures from you guys and send them to my brother. And you guys have never met him, and I've always told you guys stories about him. So my question was, do you guys want to finally meet him? I've been talking about you guys like for so long, and he's really shy. He's a teacher here in Atlanta. And so the fact that I get to work this show with you guys and with Karen and everybody else, and to see all these people here is nuts, you know, and I really appreciate you guys coming out. So sorry, I knew it was going to come as soon as I said it, but I wanted to thank you guys, and this is my brother. So.
Hi.
Nice to meet you all.
So great to meet you.
Yeah, he's a bit more of a character, as you can tell. But, you know, it's crazy because, you know, it's a big impact. Growing up thinking about it, the influence probably Power Rangers had on me is that I was a college wrestler. So it's probably from all the spandex that I got the influence from.
Same here, man. Collegiate wrestler.
Where at?
I wrestled at high school, freestyle, and then in junior high as well.
Beautiful.
By the time I got out of high school, I couldn't do it anymore, man.
Yeah, it becomes a job after that point. It's not fun.
I went into martial arts after that.
Oh yeah. Well, it all worked out. So thank you all for what you do, and thank you for getting my brother closer together and an emotional wreck. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so good to meet you.
That's a good one.
Much love, brother.
We got time for one last one. It's going to be this gentleman in the hat here. We'll have this last question, but again, you'll see the Rangers at the tables because they want to talk to you, I'm sure.
Hey, thanks. Hey, this question is for Jason. So last year, Michael was here with Aaron, and he told us about some pretty epic pranks you did on set. So I was just wondering, what is your favorite prank, both either on set or ongoing? Because apparently you're quite the prankster.
You know, we always defer to the whoopee cushion one because it's safe, it's kid friendly. But someday we'll tell you the cucumber one. We can't do it here, but the cucumber one is the best one.
Jason, don't tell that story at about 8:15.
Don't go that way with it, not that way. It's a different prank that we did. So, it's funny. We talk about it and we laugh so much.
You don't whip the cucumber out and then just leave it.
That is.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But I can't remember a lot of them. Aaron might, it's like me asking him to tell you a joke. Like there's so many, but I can't recall some of the stuff we did.
I mean, you always talk about like when, like sometimes you and Michael would just hold hands in a scene. Like they'd be filming.
Yes. Okay, I'll tell. So we would oftentimes we'd be running around corners, in heroic poses. You come out, pose. The bad guys are coming, and sometimes Michael and I would run out holding hands. And they're like, guys, cut. We can't have you guys holding hands as you go to fight Rancic. So we would do things like that. That was a lot of fun. We would always play jokes about Christmas bonuses or extra privileges that we got as cast members. We tell Aaron and Deb, like, did you guys get the big financial bonus in Christmas? They're like, what? No. I'm like, I know, we just got 10 grand. They're like, no, I didn't get that. And so
you guys never failed, but there was a solid 3 seconds where Deb and I constantly, we worked with these guys. You would think we would have catch up, but we were like, no. Jason.
I got to tell this one in Brazil, when we were in Brazil with that girl. Okay, so
really what? This was never shot in Brazil?
No, this was a Comic-Con.
Oh.
Brazil has a huge Power Ranger fan base. The line was huge to take pictures with a handful of us. Yoshi was there, me, Cahill, Walter, Sierra. So I went into this line of a lot of people, and I found this girl, and I go, hey, when you come up to take a group photo with us, say I want to get everybody in the picture but Aaron. I don't want to take a picture with her. Now, you got to understand, the line is huge. There's a lot of people. And she goes, okay. So she comes up, and everyone's taking pictures, and Aaron's so lovely. And she goes, but I don't want you in the picture. Now, that threw you off for a long time. Aaron goes, oh, what'd you say? Go ahead.
You guys, imagine, I felt like I was punched in the gut. But I was like, of course, whatever you want. Like, okay, it's your photo, and nice to meet you.
And Erin goes, she goes, honey, did I do something to offend you? I mean, you wanted to talk after you grabbed her hand and go, did I do something to offend you? I'm just trying to, and then we let her have it, but she's sitting on the sideline of this picture.
I mean, I can still feel it in my body, like how it just like the whole, like my color drained, everything.
Without you.
Oh yeah, there's the photo exists out there in the world.
Sitting there on the side like, oh my God, this is crazy. No one's ever said anybody but you.
Are you okay?
We got time for one last story, Dan. I want you to tell it.
Oh, he set it up. I was going to ask you first if I could tell this story.
Yeah.
We would share these trailers with these partitions through the middle, and they're paper thin. So I'm in my trailer going over my sides, and I hear this knock, knock, boom, door opens. Sometimes the PAs would come to get us, and they're in such a hurry. They just open the door. Sometimes they didn't even knock. It was just a little too much,
You could
So
get changed, bathroom, whatever.
So I hear this, oh my God, don't you knock? Oh, kaboom, sorry. Jason, are you okay? Because the partition's right there. It's like, oh man, and just on the toilet and open the door, and I jumped and the tip dipped into the water, and I'm like, oh my God, man, that's horrible. It's like, oh God, he's gotta knock.
I took 4 showers after that.
That's time for us.
That's time for us, huh? Guys, please give it up for Dan Southworth, Jason Franz, the beautiful Aaron Cahill, Dwayne Cameron, and Hector David Jr. I love it, you guys. Woo.